Oh man, it's time again.
It's always, well, not always time. But it is always time.
But it is time. Right now it is.
Man, what time is it?
It's time for an episode of Off the Top Rope.
Man, because it's Sunday, I'm so used to saying the Anime Games and Pro Wrestling podcast that it kind of threw me for a second. Like, oh, that's right. We're doing things different now. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But you know what? Just for the hell of it, it's time for an episode of the Anime Games and Pro Wrestling podcast.
Ooh, just without the anime in the games today.
Yeah, so that's why it's just Off the Top Rope.
For those who aren't aware, if this is your first podcast, welcome in. Before we were doing this podcast was pro wrestling first, and then we did gaming, and then we did anime. We chose to split it up. As the time you listen to this now, the first episode of the Command Grab, which is our video game podcast, should be up. Definitely feel free to take a listen to that. And welcome to Off the Top Rope.
Yeah, and we got a good one for you guys today.
As always, these shows are stacked.
Yeah, they're stacked, and but today we can get a little bit more in depth without having to worry about worry about the other two subjects lacking or anything like that. So we can just go in today.
Speaking of going in, we're going directly into our first topic.
Oh yeah, let's do this. Let's get this. Let's get these two abominations out the way.
We have to talk about the Summerslam main event, which I just found out about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, so SummerSlam main event should be no surprise from anybody. The bloodline just continues. And it's going to drag on for the next 20 years, but it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And what can I say is just that it's not exciting. If I was somebody paying to see that show, I'd get my money back. just on the real, I would just go and get my money back.
Do you remember after WrestleMania when people were screaming that this was the best WrestleMania of all time? And then we go into Monday Night Raw, and the first thing that we see is Dwayne, The Rock, and Cody in the middle of the ring together. And then The Rock whispered something into Cody's ear and then gave him something. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he gave him a watch.
Oh, so we found out what it was?
I think he gave him a watch.
I don't know. Whatever.
Oh,
Whatever
no,
it was.
that was backstage. I got that confused. That was Triple H giving him his father's Rolex.
Ah. Well, now people were speculating at that time that the main event of SummerSlam was going to be The Rock versus Cody for the title, right? And people were all up in arms, and they were saying, this is what's going to happen. Cody's going to lose to The Rock, and then we're going to get The Rock and Roman next WrestleMania as planned, blah, 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 blah. That didn't happen at all, did it?
No, I would have actually preferred that to happen.
Actually, it's I am not a fan of WWE. I think I've made that very clear, right? I don't even really watch the product, right? I get my WWE news from you whenever you catch up to it, right?
Yeah.
Do they know Solo Sikoa can't really wrestle like that? Like he shouldn't be a main eventer?
He shouldn't, but the thing right now is people are giving Triple H too much credit. When all this whole bloodline thing should have ended already. Like, okay, Roman's gone, the hierarchy's done. No reason to carry this on and then bring on like 1,000 Fatus, which is about to happen because they're about to get Hikuleo.
Yeah.
was the next one, and then probably Zilla for two, and then the Tongan sisters, and it's just gonna keep going. And to me, it's looking like the old NWO. Um, because like in the beginning, it was like a set amount of people. It was piece of shit Hall and Nash,
Mm-hmm.
and and then 1 year later, there was like 50 people in the NWO, the NWO Black and White, and the Bloodline is looking the same way. It's just gonna just keep adding people and people that shouldn't be there.
You know what? I'm gonna say something a little controversial.
Uh-huh.
I actually don't mind that they're doing that, but it should not be a main event thing. The only reason they're making it a main event staple is because of the name, the Bloodline. There is right now, there is no one other than Jacob Fatu that could be a legit main eventer anywhere in the Bloodline.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, for sure. Like Jacob Fatu is the only one that is the main eventer out of that whole group. Solo Sikoa is not.
So if they would have ramped up, if they would have went after like another title,
Hmm.
I feel like that would have been fine. You know what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
want to do the Bloodline thing, albeit that was your biggest thing. Like the reason that these arenas are filled is because basically of Roman Reigns. We can straight up. The Bloodline stuff did wonders for WWE. Now that Roman is out of the picture for however long he's going to be, it's already been like 4 months.
Yeah.
It was time to adjust. And if you want to adjust to a different bloodline, that is fine, but they can't be this. Like you cannot have your second biggest show main evented by someone who, all due disrespect, can't wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no other way I can like really put it because it's just. And also, you know what? I'll just say this: Cody Rhodes' World Heavyweight Championship reign or title reign has been trash.
Because it's been an afterthought. Straight up.
They didn't know what the fuck to do after he got the title. He got the title. Good job, Cody. You got it. Nothing compelling has come out of it.
Mm-mm.
You know who's having a better title run right now?
Who?
Damian Priest.
Oh, God. That's true,
His title
though.
run's actually better than Cody's. So just
It,
think about that.
yeah, but I mean, they are likely giving more to Priest, though, to be honest. So, and what can you do about that?
Yeah.
The one thing that really bothers me about this entire thing is, why this is probably the main event.
Why?
Roman's probably coming back during the main event. That's probably the only reason why it's going to be solo.
Yeah. Well, hope it goes well. Like, because then you're gonna have the split bloodline, right? You're gonna have bloodline and bloodline.
Bloodline and Bloodline Wolfpack.
Yeah. Bloodline black and white, bloodline red and black. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say I'm interested in seeing what happens, but that would be a lie. I'm not interested, and I don't care.
I'm only interested in one wrestler out of that whole group. We are, we've already sang his praises throughout like quite a few. Jacob Fatu. That's the only wrestler I'm interested out of that whole group.
Oh, he's gonna go crazy too, right? Like they're gonna do their. This is what WWE is good for. That main event is gonna be a spectacle because so much random shit is gonna happen. So
Hmm.
like this is, for those who are a fan of that, they have it. Like that's gonna happen at SummerSlam. It's gonna be a spectacle. It's not gonna be a great wrestling match, but it'll be a spectacle.
Well, here's the other funny thing, because we have the video coming up right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that tag team that got destroyed by Jacob Fatu the other day, is that tag team that's in the ring right now. So the Grayson Waller and Theory.
Oh, it was these two that are having a
Yep.
crazy back and forth match after being destroyed by one person last week?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
Once it got destroyed by when he destroyed them in DIY.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what? Whatever.
that's who. Yeah, Jacob Fatu destroyed all of them.
Hopefully Cody's happy. Hopefully Kevin Owens is happy. That's whatever.
Whatever. Hey,
Yeah.
we get in the bag. I guess that's what means the most.
Yeah. We're moving on.
Yep.
We got we got another thing to be a little probably little off about also. At the time of recording, TNA Slammiversary was yesterday. Yesterday being Saturday. And I guess we have to talk about the main event.
Yeah.
All you, man.
So we had the six-way for the world title. Not really going to get much into it because I don't know. I think the whole thing and the result is kind of fucking garbage. Um, almost a few minutes into the match, Moose gets eliminated by Joe Hendry. Then, everybody's like, woo, there's going to be a new world champion. It could be Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry gets eliminated after Josh Alexander turned heel. Which also didn't make much sense, but whatever. Um, and Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, wins the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Big surprise. Um, is I don't know. Overall, didn't feel good. They had a big opportunity to put the title on somebody that's actually got something going, not somebody that's cold. Like, there's nothing Nick Nemeth is doing right now, like, that's great for TNA. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I could try to be positive about it, but none of it's good.
Um,
They put that WWE guy there to, I guess, to satisfy WWE. I don't know, to satisfy the NXT thing.
you know what? Um, I'm gonna give you a break for a second.
Okay.
I got a couple things to rant about.
Oh,
I got a couple.
okay.
I'm gonna start backwards. I'm gonna start with Nick Nemeth being TNA heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
You said cold. I
Uh-huh.
say glacial. I say iceberg. I say asshole. I I am not a fan of Nemeth being the TNA world champion. I'm okay with Moose losing it. Honestly, I don't think that matters. Moose can lose it all he wants, whatever. Nick Nemeth being world champion doesn't really make sense for TNA right now. It just doesn't.
No.
This actually goes back to I don't know if we were talking about it before the podcast actually. I'm actually looking at the footage right now. And it does kind of look like a WWE show, which is weird. Like when Josh Alexander was doing his like elbows down to Joe Hendry, they were doing the Zoom thing that WWE does.
Yeah. And that kind of goes back to like I watched the episode before Slammiversary. They had some NXT guys on there. The show's presentation now feels like an NXT show. So, I don't know, for better or worse, that's the direction they're going.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. Like, I'm not a fan of this at all. I'm talking Nick Nemeth. I'm gonna continue there. Nick Nemeth also had another title that he shouldn't have had before, and I don't even remember. I think I asked you about this. I don't even remember if we talked about this on the show before. But previously, earlier in the year, Nick Nemeth was the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship or Global Heavyweight Champion. That's a new championship that New Japan just made. It kind of resembles the old Intercontinental Championships, like a white belt. Uh, that belt doesn't really have an identity right now, and part of the
Mhm.
reason why that belt doesn't have an identity is because of Nick Nemeth. Um,
Yeah.
David Finlay won the championship first. He beat Ospreay and John Moxley for it at Wrestle Kingdom. Wasn't really a fan of that, to be honest. I'm not a big David Finlay guy to begin with, to be real. But Ospreay and Moxley weren't going to win that title.
Oh, yeah.
Literally like a week later, Nemeth shows up and then beats Finlay for the title and then kind of dips out. Like the title's just gone. And people weren't complaining about that like they were complaining about Moxley holding the IWGP World Championship and just kind of dipping out of Japan. But neither here nor there. So that Global Heavyweight Championship was kind of ruined. And right now isn't a place where it doesn't have an identity, it doesn't have like a status, because the two champions that have had it, I'm including David Finlay in this also, don't really wrestle too much. Like David Finlay has now defended that title one time, and he's been a 2-time champion, and he's held the title now for 70 days. Nemeth held the title for like 3 months, wanted to defend it against Tanahashi, didn't, which is probably a good thing because that match would have been awful, and defends it against Finlay and then loses it. So right now, this title that we don't know what it was supposed to be is just kind of SOL, like done.
Yeah.
So my concern is that's going to happen now with the TNA World Title.
Yeah. No, like like even after he won the title and he was doing the shows on TNA, like not gonna lie, man, like it they weren't great, right? Like the I didn't see as much of the excitement from the fans or anything like that. It just didn't. It like I said, it felt cold. Like he he literally came in and brought everything down. Brought the heat, brought all the nice good heat that they had and all that stuff. They just brought it down. It's just yeah, I don't know. But on the topic of people not complaining, the only reason people complain about Moxie getting the title is because he's part of AEW.
Yeah,
But at least Mox defended the title everywhere.
he
He
went.
didn't just he didn't just sit on the title, right?
Yep.
Unlike, you look at both of Ziggler's runs, he had that, he had the NGPW title one that he, won, but he also had the CML one. Was it CMLL or AAA?
Oh, AAA. He was a AAA is or was the AAA heavyweight champion.
Yeah. So and he hasn't done nothing with that either. He doesn't even wear that belt to the ring. He like he barely even again another he didn't defend it. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like not to beat a dead horse, but it's just I don't think Nick Nemeth was the best choice, especially for TNA.
You know who would have been a really good choice?
Who would have been a good choice?
Josh Alexander, the person who just turned heel in that match, which
Yeah.
I also disagree with. I don't think Josh Alexander should be a heel. Haven't really been following TNA recently, but this seems like, looking at this seems like he is jealous of Joe Hendry, and that screams to me, I should be on NXT. Why are you on NXT and I'm not? Which is not a Josh Alexander thing at all. Like, that's
No,
not him.
not at all. Like the way he's been the past what I would say like the past like 3 or 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come in and fucking wrestle the shit out of you.
Mr. Impact, Mr. TNA.
Yeah, he's Mr. TNA. He goes in there and then he just puts it all out. Like let's just put it like this. Him versus Osprey, like the second match they did before Osprey came to AEW. Yeah, that's what Josh Alexander's all about.
That match was so good.
Damn good. And some of the wars he had with Mike Bailey, all that stuff, right? That's the Josh Alexander, not this. I'm trying to fit to get into WWE Josh Alexander.
Yeah, I don't like this. Like, I don't even mind if you want to make Josh Alexander heel, but just looking at this screams jealousy. And Josh Alexander has nothing to be jealous about. He's a world champion. Joe Hendry
Like,
isn't. The only thing Joe Hendry has done that he hasn't is be on TN or be on NXT. And who gives
yeah,
a fuck?
right. He's been on WWE developmental. Okay. Again, we can't escape this fact that TNA is a main promotion, but they're in a partnership with a developmental company basically now.
At this
And
point,
all we get is developmental guys from the other side.
yeah, at this point, it really feels like they're just kind of giving WWE what they want. Because why? Again, going back, why the fuck is Nemeth a champion, a world champion?
I have no idea. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nemeth shows up on NXT in a few weeks.
Because that's what he wants, right? Like, this is I feel like this is my rant episode, and I apologize. This is not. I have a lot nicer things to say a little bit later about other things, but the fact that TNA right now is just placating to WWE is weird. Like, I know TNA and Impact is low key kind of built on people leaving WWE and coming to TNA and doing their thing, right? Like, we have a Christian Cage, we have a Kurt Angle, we have a Booker T, Scott Steiner, the list goes on. That people that were mainstays in NXT, wow, in TNA.
Right.
I don't think TNA needs to be doing this.
No, not at all. Well, even if they got all those guys, right, they still had their own style, right? You knew it was Impact Wrestling when you watched it, right? They were their own thing. They weren't when you watched Impact Wrestling, you weren't like, oh, this is a WWE style product. No, it was its own thing. It had a mix of everything.
Yeah, they still had their AJ Styles. They still had like a Beer Money. They still had Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Frankie Kazarian. Like, they had their own thing, and it was just a really well meshed wrestling company.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel like TNA.
No, it doesn't at all. It feels like they're trying to get as close to WWE as possible. It it's almost close to the company that tanked.
Yeah, this screams like Hogan Bischoff to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I hope next year Scott D'Amore is hired at Tony Khan hires him for Ring of Honor, and then he takes Ring of Honor direction and builds them up the same way he did TNA, because he literally built that company from the fucking ashes after those two burnt it down.
Exactly.
So he could do a lot of good for Ring of Honor. So I really hope Tony Khan hires that guy and just makes that company a badass company.
You know what? We're actually gonna talk about Scott D'Amore a little bit later.
Ooh, shit. Okay, I can't wait.
Yeah, I think we're gonna move on.
Yeah, let's move on to better stuff.
Yeah, I'm tired of being negative. This stuff actually like makes me a little bit upset.
Yeah, this is like I said in the beginning. Let's get the shit out the way.
Yep, and now we're getting to the good stuff.
Yeah, let's get the good stuff.
This is my shit.
Yeah.
This weekend, the G1 Climax started. This is G1 Climax 34. For those unaware, I'm gonna give a very brief thing about what the G1 is, and then we'll figure out. I guess we'll figure out how we're gonna do this. The G1 Climax is a tournament that happens in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It is a round robin tournament where 10 people in two blocks wrestle each other. Winners get 2 points. Losers get 0. draws get one. And basically, you go through this tournament, there's a playoff, and the winner of this tournament gets a title shot for the top prize in New Japan, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at New Japan's biggest show, Wrestle Kingdom, which is literally in the Tokyo Dome, January 4th every year. So this is a very big tournament, and this year specifically is a very big tournament because people like Okada and Ospreay have left. And I'm going to be honest, I said I wasn't going to be negative. I got to be a little bit negative. Last few years of the G1 have not been great. They've changed up their thing a little bit. Last year they had like 4 blocks in like 30 people, and half the nights were like kind of unwatchable because half the people in the G1 last year were not great. We talked about people like Nick Nemeth earlier. New Japan has been in a very rough place. So coming into the G1, this was a very important one for New Japan as a company. This sounds like a storyline thing. It's not. This is legitimate. New Japan needs new stars. They need new heavyweights that can go in and wrestle at Wrestle Kingdom and sell shows, because a lot of their main event talent left, and New Japan was not doing a good job of building new talent because I guess they expected people to stick around. Obviously it didn't happen. And I can say this, after the first 2 nights of the G1, I'm very happy. New Japan's in a very good place right now.
That's good.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be a very quick one. We're not going to talk about G1 too much. Instead of giving people exactly what's going on and breaking down everything, I'm going to give matches that I suggest people watch if they are interested in learning about New Japan and interested in like a tournament like the G1, because it can be very daunting to get into. So I'll give like 1 or 2 matches from each show that I've watched and maybe talk a little bit about them, and then we're going to move on to another subject. How what do you think? Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So the first night of G1 was on Saturday morning / Friday night. I'm not going to get into a lot of matches. There are 2 matches that I want to talk about that I think people should watch. But Prophet, you should watch the whole show because the whole show was damn good. The first one that I'm going to talk about is Yota Tsuji versus Konosuke Takeshita. Man. If there's one match that you watch from the G1, and this is the only one that you watch, I would say watch that one. That match was incredible. 2 young guys going out there showing why they are the future of pro wrestling. Yota Tsuji did what he did to prove that he is the future of New Japan. And Takeshita, straight up, he just showed why he is, in a few years, going to be heavily relied on. That motherfucker is 28 years old. Takeshita's 28 years old.
Yeah.
Wrestling like a legend already.
Yeah, like, I can't say enough good things about Takeshita.
So that one I suggest watching. The other one I suggest watching, funny enough, people are gonna say the main event between Naito and Shingo. No. The match that people should watch, and this is a 5-minute match. It was very quick. Sonata versus Jake Lee is the other one because it's just from this show. Sonata is a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Jake Lee is a young guy that's coming into New Japan. He's with Bullet Club War Dogs. The match was 5 minutes. And it was shocking, to say the least. That's why I'm saying that one should be another one that people should watch. But Prophet, you got to watch the whole show. The whole show was really good.
Yeah, I got to get some time this week and just go through the whole show.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to quickly go over night 2, because night 2 happened this morning. So I have not slept. I'm only actually going to suggest one match from this one. But again, the whole card was good. Main event, Yota Tsuji versus David Finlay. Again, Tsuji proved that he is the future of New Japan. And he is now, after these 2 matches, he already won the New Japan Cup earlier, another tournament that New Japan does. He's actually my dark horse to win the G1 right now. He is the guy that can easily put people into seats in the Tokyo Dome. People want Zack Sabre Jr. I do also, but if Zack doesn't win, which I feel like he's not, Tsuji is the person to do it.
Yeah.
That's it. I have nothing else for New Japan. That's all for G1.
Yeah. So you're thinking Yota Tsuji is going to pretty much be the new Tanahashi.
I think so. Like he is the guy. He has the charisma. He has the moveset. His first match in New Japan was against Sonata for the World Heavyweight Champion. He made his first match back from excursion. He main evented New Japan's second biggest show.
Yeah.
And he got to the point where him as a new guy turned the crowd against Sonata. And that low-key kind of changed Sonata's whole IWGP World title run last year.
Oh, shit.
He's the guy. Tsuji is the guy. If they don't want to give it to Zack, which I think they should, Zack should win the G1 this year. If it's not going to be Zack, it should be Tsuji.
Yeah.
But that's it, man.
Okay.
I think we can move forward. The rest of the show is AEW. And man, we got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. Like, yeah. Oh, man. We're just going to lead off. We're just going to go. So the first match we have to talk about was the MJF versus Will Ospreay for the International Championship.
God bless.
God damn, that was a barn burner. When they said a 60, at first I thought, like last week, I thought they said a 30-minute time limit.
Yeah, same.
No. No. Couldn't have been further from the actual correct time. It was a 60-minute time limit. And holy shit, that was if you haven't watched that match yet, watch it. Because there is so much that goes on in that match. There's, they had storytelling in the match. There's everything in this match. Like, there's nothing missing out of it. But, ultimately, as I predicted last week, MJF won and defeats Will Ospreay for the title. But he also, of course, used the Battle Royal ring and knocks Ospreay out. So, there's that too. So I'm like really curious to see where this goes. But man, this match, that's one for the books. It's probably it's in the top 5 of best AEW matches for sure. Shit, I'd say even top 3.
The runtime of this match was 59 minutes and 58 seconds. They had 2 seconds left to spare from a 60-minute time limit.
Yeah. And actually, I don't give a fuck. I'll throw shade at them all day. So, the Will Ospreay match, the Ospreay MJF match, in one match is more wrestling than Raw and SmackDown put together.
I think that's an actual stat, right? Someone put an actual stat out there about that.
That's an actual stat.
Lord have mercy.
That one match had more wrestling. There was more wrestling time in one match than Raw and SmackDown. I don't know how people are watching those shows, but hey, it's here nor there. We're talking about AEW now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there.
This match, Ospreay and MJF, it had everything. I think it was a little slow in the middle, but looking back at it, knowing that they were going to be wrestling for 59 minutes, kind of got to be a little bit slow. There are slow parts in Omega versus Okada, the match that went like an hour and 10 minutes, but they also wrestled an hour and 10 minutes, so it makes sense.
Well, shit, like the speed that these guys were wrestling, even the slow part, the quote unquote slow part, is like faster. Well, it's faster than normal for most places.
Yes. It's only slow
So
because Osprey was in there doing the stuff. That's the only reason it was slow. Osprey
yeah,
normally ain't slow.
he was selling, he was doing everything, man. Like MJF was too. Like they were working, man. Like hats off to him.
No, the match was incredible. Like you said, and you predicted. I'm gonna give you that. I'm not gonna say that we predicted because this. I'm gonna be real. This isn't what I wanted. MJF is now the international title, the international champion. He had his little gas mask, his oxygen tank at the end. He was dying, but he beat Osprey. He did it, even though he had to cheat to do it, but he did it.
He did it. I think the gas mask thing. Well, the oxygen mask thing was just the best touch. It was hilarious.
He did the same thing against Danielson. Remember Revolution last year when they went like an hour 5 or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah, it's a good touch.
I will say this though. I think MJF hurt me talking shit last week.
He did. He probably did.
I'm pretty sure like there was a point in that match where he was like, Lionel, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, you know what? You're wrong. I do know what I'm talking about, but I'll give you this one. You did your thing.
Yeah.
I still don't think he's top 5 in the company right now because I think everyone is just operating on an insane level. But goddamn, was that match great?
Yeah. And on top of that, his first match is going to be in CMLL.
Yeah, he's going to Arena Mexico August 2nd. August 2nd.
Yeah.
Oh, that's next Friday.
To defend the international championship.
You want to talk about partnership? That's a partnership, y'all. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Top star going to a place, not using a developmental, but that's here nor there.
Mm-hmm. So now we talked about the match. We don't really break down matches. That's not really what we do here. I gotta ask you, what's next? Because this feud is not over. We're not done here.
That's just not over. I think what's next is Osprey's going to be on the road to get his title back.
Mm-hmm.
That's the obvious. But we also got Pac there too. The man everybody likes to forget.
Including Gravity. Gravity forgot him too. Wasn't just me.
Gravity forgets him. But I don't forget you, Pac. I know you're there.
So now the question is, when he won that match, because he won a match to be the number 1 contender for the international championship. Was that at Wembley, or was that just he's now the number 1 contender?
That's Wembley.
Wait, so now are we sure we're confirmed that Pac is just gonna be at Wembley for the international title?
Yeah. It was Pac going against whoever the holder was. Whoever the winner was of this week.
I think that's just about to change.
It's about to be a 3-way.
It's about to be a 3-way. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no way it's just going to be a 1-on-1.
Yeah, it can't be. It can't be. Unless they pull like a change and they say that Pac gets to wrestle earlier and then Pac goes somewhere else for Wembley, because Pac is for sure going to be at Wembley. But I don't know, because running this back at Wembley sounds like a great idea, but we also have the person that Osprey really wants to wrestle in what's his face, Ricochet. At some point, Ricochet's gonna be showing up.
Yeah, very soon.
So there, like we talked about last week, there are a lot of places that this story can go, and I think that's what's the most interesting part about the international title right now, that it can go anywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, but just even thinking about it, say MGF drops it at Wembley, right, to Pac. It, the list of people that Pac can wrestle, and Pac likes going, you know, like going to all the different companies and shit anyway.
He lives in
He'll be
England.
everywhere. Huh?
He lives in England.
Yeah. He's gonna be everywhere.
When the international channel was when the international title was called the what was it, the All Atlantic, whatever it was before.
Hmm.
When Pac held it, he was wrestling in like Rev Pro and shit. So like if Pac gets it again, that's a guarantee to happen. I mean, MJF's doing it right now. He's gonna be wrestling in Mexico this week. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's happening. But
Yeah,
now
it's gonna be great.
now the question is like I still I don't know about going to Pac for Wembley alone. Like it for sure. Like if this is a thing and Pac is going to be in this match for the international title at Wembley, has to be a 3-way. Has
Yeah.
to.
I feel like it's gonna go that way. There's no way Osprey just goes, "Oh, well, I lost. Oh well." No, not at all. Especially if he knows that MJF cheated.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm just real curious to see where it goes.
MJF cheated, and every other title is a little bit busy right now.
Hmm.
You got anything else you want to talk about when it comes to this match?
All I'll say is, whoever hasn't watched it yet, what are you doing? Watch it. Like, find a way to watch it. It's that good.
I'm gonna just watch it again. Why not? All right, we're gonna move on. We still got a little bit more Dynamite to talk about.
Yep.
Next is we got to hear from Mariah May for the first time after she basically destroyed Tony Storm.
Yeah.
When she came out to the ring, she came out in Tony's entrance gear like she was before, but now she was timeless Tony Storm or timeless Mariah May, however you want to call it. And she was kind of psychotic. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. She was laying everything down. It's like shit. She would have turned sooner, but it was too easy.
That's the hilarious part about this, right? Like she was like, "Oh yeah, you all saw it coming." We're like, "Well, yeah." It's like I would have did it earlier, but I was having too much fun. It's like, "Oh, yeah, you are crazy."
And I'm excited to see the rest of that. How it's going to end in Wembley? Is Mariah going to be the champion? What's going to happen?
That's going to be interesting, right? I don't think Mariah's going to win, but I think this is straight up. I think this is the most interesting storyline going into Wembley right now.
For sure, for sure.
Like I'm excited to see what happens next. Mariah is just she is right now. She's just top tier in what she's doing. Like you would think that she's been wrestling and doing this for over a decade, like on TV, on American TV for like over a decade.
Yeah, and what? What? How long has it been? About like 2-3 years
Not
total.
no, she's been in AEW for less than a year.
Well, I was talking about just wrestling total.
Wrestling total, yeah, maybe like 3-4 years.
Yeah, but
But
yeah, on AEW, yeah, she's probably been like 6-7 months, something like that.
yeah, something like that. And from what people have said, like being on TV is different compared to like she's from Stardom, right? They don't
Yeah,
they have TV, yes, but it's not the same as like American TV wrestling. Like they're two completely different worlds.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
The fact that she has adapted to this so well, she's able to lead a crowd on like incredibly. Like her promo was just like it was insane. Not even just from the fact that she's crazy. It's everything was laid out so well in that promo. and she was only out there for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, you don't have to be out there 30 minutes to, get your point across.
She built her where, she built her why, she established herself as the glamour again. Like this, I can't stop saying great things about this promo.
Yeah,
We
it was good. Like and of course the crowd tried to do the what thing, and she just talked right through them, which
mm-hmm.
was great.
Yep.
The worst thing that ever happened to wrestling is Steve Austin going what?
It was fine until he left, and then people just took it over.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like just I don't know what else good I can say about this. Like I said, I'm excited for this match. I'm excited for this build to come up. We didn't even get Toni Storm here. Like it was just Mariah out there.
Mm-hmm.
So how is Toni gonna react to this now? And now Mariah's gonna be wrestling this week on Dynamite, and she's gonna be back to herself as the glamour.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably see Toni Storm, show up.
Yeah, more than likely, right?
Yeah, she's for sure going to show up. I'll be surprised if she didn't.
You have anything else you want to talk about when it comes to this promo?
No, it was an awesome promo. It was it was short, concise, and sweet. And I can't wait to see the rest of the story play out.
All right then, let's all agreed. Let's move forward before I say something crazy. We're gonna go to the main event of Dynamite. We're kind of skipping over Nyla Rose and Mercedes. That was a cool match. It felt a little short, felt a little rushed. It is what it is. I'm happy to see Nyla back. We're skipping over He Who Shall Not Be Named, the old man who should, take a little bit of a break. But it is what it is. We're gonna be talking about
he's doing it to troll you now. He's trolling everybody.
Oh yeah, no. This is what he's doing. This is his character, and like I said, I'm not a fan. I will not be a fan. This is the one Jericho character that he's not going to be able to do well with me. Just it's not going to happen. We got to talk about the main event of Dynamite. Champion versus champion. We got Okada versus Swerve.
Man, it's one of those matches where, I feel bad for every match that had to follow, like, the Ospreay MJF thing.
Yeah.
Like, this match on its own is, like, it was damn good. It was really good.
And we ended with a DQ, so we never actually got, like, a definitive winner.
Yeah.
They basically used this match to set up Blood and Guts.
Yeah, this was the setup match for Blood and Guts. But, we already knew going in there wasn't going to be a winner. No one's going to, come out a clear winner on this.
That's for damn sure.
But the match itself, like, before the DQ was damn good. I want to see a run back. I want to see the actual match between these two, because I think it's going to be it would be whatever card it's on. It'd be like one of the best matches in the card.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it pretty much ends up as a DQ. Get the Elite. They come out. I think this is when Darby comes from the rafters.
It comes down like Sting.
So, and this is where we learn yes, Darby is part of Team AEW.
Everyone could have guessed that though.
Yeah, like there's no way Darby wasn't going to be Team AEW.
But then we also got our last two members that were basically announced at this point too. Everyone's standing together. The last two members of Team AEW are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, the Acclaimed.
Yep. The two people that feel like just do not fit the match. They just stick out. But I hope next week I am completely proved wrong. I hope I'm proved wrong.
Oh yeah,
But they're the only two in the match that don't fit.
we can actually use time to talk about that promo too about that I'm not gonna call him the name that they call him. Billy Gunn talking to the Acclaimed on Collision. We can talk about that a little bit too now.
Yeah, look, Billy Gunn on Collision was pretty much like, yo, you can't be these you can't be you're going into this blood and guts match. It is a match of pure violence. You can't be the way you've been being. You can't be sit there being the rapper. You can't sit there being Mr. Scissory. No. You gotta bring it. When you go to this blood and guts match, you gotta fucking bring it. And I thought that was like the perfect promo to, make make it so these guys aren't jokes when they come out there.
Because we can be honest, you just said it already too. They don't fit in this match. I'm gonna list out who's in the match. I don't have notes, but this is fine. It'll be easy. Team AEW consists of Nick and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, the Scapegoat, Hangman Adam Page, Mr. Insane, and Kazuchika Okada. And they're going to be wrestling Team AEW, which is our world champion, Swerve Strickland, the Ring of Honor world champion, Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin. You don't have to explain Darby Allin. Darby's insane. And the Acclaimed, Matt Caster and Anthony Bowens. They don't fit.
Right. Yeah. They don't fit.
You would think Okada doesn't fit, but Okada was fantastic in that Anarchy in the Arena match. And that's not even Okada's wheelhouse. He doesn't do that, but he was great there.
Yeah. No, Okada will be fine. And then, Swerve and Hangman, they're just gonna fight throughout the arena.
Oh yeah.
They're just gonna be this tornado fighting throughout the arena.
Oh yeah, they're gonna find a way to break through the thing, the cage, and they're just gonna be gone. That's just what they're gonna do.
Yeah, no, they're just gone. They're fighting the whole time. No one else is like, you'll know the only two people that are 100% fighting each other the whole time is Swerve and Hangman.
Mm-hmm. That's why this match is actually really interesting. We've kind of broken down how Blood and Guts has been like formulated at this point. The only reason Hangman's in there is because he wants to get his hands on Swerve. He couldn't beat Danielson to get him at Wembley, so this is the best option. Like, this is what he's gonna do.
Well, for some reason, I feel like there's going to be some type of turn.
With who?
I don't know. I don't know, but somebody is going to turn on Team AEW.
I feel like the only ones who could, that would make any kind of sense, would be the Acclaimed.
Right.
But that doesn't make sense either because they have a world title or a tag title match coming up with the Bucks.
Right. Like, and, for sure it is not going to be Briscoe. Like, that's off the table. Like, I just don't, like, there's something telling me the spidey senses are tingling. It's telling me somebody's going to turn in that match.
You know what?
And cost Team AEW the match.
It also could be someone from the outside too. It doesn't have to be someone in the match. But I see what you're saying though.
Yeah.
Like, something's going to happen to cause Team AEW to lose this match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Okay.
There's a lot of people in the match that have been digging into other people's business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what better way than a no DQ, like all no holds bar? All they got to do is get to the ring.
Okay, now I gotta ask a question because you brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think could be the person to make Team AEW lose this match?
That's the hard part. I don't know. That's the hard part. There's so many people. There's so many shit. There's so much shit in play. Like he could very easily be like the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
Um,
It could be the patriarchy.
it could be the patriarchy because they did just they pretty much got the elite to strip the Bullet Club Gold of the title so they can win it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a favor for a favor thing.
Yeah, that would be good. Like that wouldn't be a turn, but that would make sense also.
Yeah,
I'm kind of into the turn idea though. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of into that.
yeah,
I kind of like. I honestly, again, I'm not saying this is a prediction because this is not gonna happen because it wouldn't make sense. But it would actually be kind of nice to see the Acclaimed turn, or even not even both of them, maybe just one of them.
like what if it was just Bowens?
Yeah, Bowens just broke off on his own and did his own thing.
Yeah, because he needs to.
Yes, he does. Badly. But that could be interesting. Like, because okay, there are people we can eliminate. We know Swerve and Hangman are gonna cancel each other out. Like they're gonna do something crazy to each other for sure.
Yeah, they eliminate each other.
Oh yeah. Like something's gonna happen between those two. We don't know what, but it's gonna be something crazy because those two are lunatics. They hate each other. The Bucks get real crazy in these matches too. Like, so very surprisingly, actually, they get real crazy in these matches. And I know it's been a few years now. They've been doing these matches now pretty consistently for a while, but it's still surprising what they do when they're in these situations.
Yeah,
They're also ingenious. I hope we get like another exploding shoe or something. That would be dope.
it's. I have a feeling so. It's probably going to be like Darby's going to get taken out by the exploding shoe again.
Oh yeah, after getting drilled in the Anarchy in the arena with the shoe that had all of the thumbtacks on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this is really interesting. Plus, I guess we can use this to kind of like transition to other things too. Like, there's a lot of storylines going into this already. We have the Acclaimed and we have the Bucks. They have their world title shot coming pretty soon, or their tag title shot coming pretty soon. We have Jack Perry and Darby, which on Collision, Darby basically announced that he's coming after Jack for the TNT title. We have what is on our screens right now, but not yours, viewer. Hangman and Swerve. This face-off was kind of crazy, actually. They didn't even do anything. They just looked at each other.
but a lot of times you don't need to.
It was so tense. Okada doesn't really have anything going on after this, but that's fine. Mark Briscoe is probably, he may or may not be ROH World Champion by the time this happens, because Friday is after.
Yeah, that's after.
So he's doing Blood and Guts, and then 2 days later he's wrestling Roddy Strong for the Ring of Honor World title.
Man, madman.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what? That's interesting. You know what I just saw that I didn't see while I was watching live?
Oh, what did you see?
Did you see Hangman push the Bucks off and walk off when Darby's music came on?
Oh, no.
Here, you know what? We're doing it live. I'm going to rewind it. You need to check this out. So I'm going to break it down while we're actually, because the people aren't going to be able to see it, but we can talk about it. So they're doing their whole thing, right? So you see Hangman's on the other side with them, and they're all broken off on the side. And Hangman's just kind of in his own world, looks like trying to go after Swerve. And then Nick or Matt like grabs him. Did you see that? He grabs him on the side.
Oh, he pushed him away.
Pushed him off.
Well,
because we know Hangman ain't really here for the Bucks. Like, he's only here to get his hands on Swerve.
so what if? Okay, I'm just saying a big what if. During that match, the Bucks do something to piss Hangman off.
What if they kill Swerve?
Well, if they do something to Swerve and it pisses Hangman off, and then he just goes off on them,
Yeah, that's possible.
it costs the Elite the match.
That is very possible. You know, I didn't even notice this either because even in this melee that we're showing right now, well, that we're seeing right now, Swerve ain't in this either. Swerve's on the side somewhere.
Yeah, he's out back.
That was...
He got thrown into the Tron by Okada.
Yeah, that's right. This, you know what? This was interesting. I know we're talking about something that people aren't really going to be able to see at all, but we just got another little wrinkle in the story just from sitting here talking about it.
Darby's little ass trying to kill Jack Perry.
Oh, there he goes. I think this Blood and Guts has the potential to be very interesting. You already talked about it. You talked about the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn on Collision. That they were like, hey, Billy Gunn was like, hey, cut the bullshit out. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see a serious side of them.
I hope so.
All right, I think we can move on. By the time our next podcast, which I think we're gonna have to do a little early, we'll talk about that after. But Blood and Guts will have happened, so we'll be able to talk about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna move forward to Collision. Actually, we talked about them. We talked about them a little before, so we're actually gonna skip one real quick. The Patriarchy versus the Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah. And, you know, as you guys know it, the Patriarchy are the new World Trios champions.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know, the true Christian Cage special. Somebody jumped on the apron and he did his thing. he did his fatherly duty and brought the team to victory.
That he is my trios champion.
He is the trios champion.
Did you see him holding up all 3 titles by himself? Like,
yep. So good.
It's like what he did with when Luchasaurus or Killswitch, I guess, was the TNT champion, which it feels like so long ago and it feels like it didn't happen, but that was a thing. Luchasaurus never actually held the title himself.
No, but well, he was technically champion, but he didn't hold the title. Christian Cage took it from him and was defending the title for him.
Christian was basically saying he was a TNT champion.
Yep.
Luchasaurus, he did one defense, but again, never actually touched the title. And then he was in the match with Christian and I forget who else, and he lost.
Oh, it was Edge.
Oh yeah, it was that 3-way, yeah.
And then Christian did that. He did that contract thing where he fucked over Edge.
Oh man, the match was really good. I think this confirms that Jay White is actually hurt, which kills me. I don't think I've ever seen Jay White, at least as long as I've watched him wrestle, which is a long time now. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen him actually be out for injury before.
It was probably a freak accident.
Yeah, more than likely. Still sad to see though.
But you know what? The funny thing is, it's always happened at Bullet Club Gold. You get all 4 of them, and then, was it? No, all 5 of them, and then one of them gets injured and is out for like a significant amount of time.
It's kind of cursed that way a little bit.
Yeah, it literally just happened with, it was like with Juice Robinson. He just came back.
Yeah, it hasn't even been a full month since Juice has been back.
Now we need Cardboard Switchblade again.
Yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't out there for Collision.
Oh, that shit was so good.
Actually, you know what? While we're here, there's one more thing we got to talk about really quick.
What was that?
The new stage for Collision. We can talk about that now before we go into more Collision stuff.
since we're going into Collision, yeah, like that new stage is, yo, Tony Khan, you need to get a small venue permanently like that.
Yeah, until Collision
Just
grows, right?
yeah, but like just in general, like for Collision, next couple of years or more, you need a just a static venue that you always go to in this like small intimate arena like that. You could go to Sam's Town in, good old Las Vegas, but just give you some ideas.
That would be dope. Realistically, they can do like Daly's Place, right? Daly's
Yeah,
Place would be
yeah.
cool too. The what people have now dubbed. Have you heard this? People have dubbed Daly's Place American Korakuen Hall,
Huh. That's interesting.
right?
It's
Because
close to it.
AW in the pandemic.
Yeah.
But it's like a soundstage. They were at the esports arena in Arlington, Texas. Um,
Hmm.
so it's definitely a smaller venue, but it was really cool to see. You know what I mean? Plus it was nice to hear the whole crowd be into a Collision episode because I feel like doesn't happen consistently.
Yeah. Well, the problem is most Collision episodes are in these big ass buildings, and it's like since the crowd is so spread out, you can't really hear them or get the gauge on how they're how it's going.
Oh, actually, you know what? I should tell you since you said that. I need to tell you the story about what happened at Collision when it was here.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Um, so I was there with my sister. We went and the MGM was about 60% empty. Like you know
Yeah.
how usually like you'll be able to get like half the arena filled and it'll be like half and then the other half is like or maybe not half, like maybe 70% and that like hard camera side is just nothing.
Yeah.
Our section was the last section and we were maybe like maybe 4 or 5 rows to the side. It was pretty empty in there.
Damn.
So this is a good call. Now, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say that to lead into that. That was why I said it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So this collision was like really interesting because of that. Like the stage, I actually really like the stage. It also gives collision a different feel because a big problem that I have with AEW is their stages are outside of pay per views, which aren't really that different either, are the same, and they've been doing that for years now. Like this isn't new, so this gives
Right.
this show a different feel, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I just feel they need to do it like that needs to be a permanent thing, like that they do.
Yeah,
Just smaller venues for Collision. Just do it. Like, okay, AEW's your big show. Dynamite's your big show. Cool. Collision, get that small, intimate atmosphere.
yeah, because it's I feel like just in general, like it's hard to get people into places on Saturdays. You know what I mean? Like Saturday
Yeah.
nights, like there's probably so much other stuff going on in whatever city you're in that you might not want to go to wrestling.
Oh yeah. Well, there's another problem too. Like, it's kind of like how they sell their tickets, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily say it's Collision, right? Like, when say like you're buying a ticket package for the weekend, right? So you're gonna get that Collision Ring of Honor show or Rampage Ring of Honor and
And
the
Dynamite.
pay-per-view deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't really say like, oh, hey, one of these shows is Collision. I think it would be a lot better if they did that. I know they're banking on people already knowing, but for somebody that's just like, oh, I just want to watch some wrestling shows, like they don't know like what the Saturday show is. They think it's a house show. That's what the problem is.
And them shows Collision, like a good example for that is like what you're saying is like true, right? Like they do
Mhm.
like advertise Collision a little bit, but Collision definitely does not feel like a mainstay show because it's on a Saturday too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, them AEW shows can be brutal sometimes. Like I know I've been on this podcast. I said I don't care about how long a show is, but when you go to like a Dynamite taping, and you're there, you see Ring of Honor, you see Dynamite, you see Rampage, you see more Ring of Honor, like that. You think pay-per-views are bad? You're in there for like 7-8 hours if you sit there for the whole time, which is value-wise is fantastic. But you should probably be doing something a little bit different.
Yep. True. They need to split it up more. Like, eventually, they need to break Ring of Honor off of taping it at the same time as the AEW show. It probably it needs its own arena, just like how Collision needs its own arena, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they both could use the same arena.
I said we were going to be talking about Scott D'Amore a little bit earlier.
Oh,
Now's the time.
now's the time. All right, let's get it.
See, this esports arena would be perfect for something like Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
Like,
it would.
like you can do who so happens to be really good at doing and planning tapings a month in advance for their shows, and it has been doing it for over a decade.
Oh, wait. That might be my boy Scott D'Amore.
Mm-hmm. They're doing Death Before Dishonor is being done at the esports arena. So basically, and the summer series, right? So every collision is basically going to be here for up until All In, I think, right?
Yeah, for the next 6 weeks.
I think this is a perfect test run to do this. I personally think they should be doing it at, like, they can still tour this. Like, they can do this in smaller places, right? Like, you can go to Daly's place and do it there, and you'll be good. You can go to I don't know any other like small arenas like this, for example, but you can go there and you can do this. You can go to Sam's Club and get people in there and do that. That could be a taping, a collision.
Oh, Sam's Town. Sam's Club,
We'd be shopping.
we'd be shopping.
Yeah, you can go to Sam's Town, like get a thing in there. Yeah, I think I need to eat. I think that's what that was.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, we can this is what Collision should be for a while until the show can get more established, because we know why the show was made. We know what they were doing. It's not here anymore. Kind of got to switch it up.
Yeah, and what better way than to get the man Scott D'Amore on the Ring of Honor, maybe like Collision team. Have him schedule all the, tours, because all of TNA's arenas are small arenas. Were small arenas.
Mm-hmm.
So, he knows where they can maximize the space in the tapings.
And that crowd, whoever's going to be at whatever arena this is a hardcore crowd. So if you really want to tape like a Collision and then Ring of Honor, you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You could break that up. So now on Wednesdays, you could be doing Dynamite and you could be doing Rampage. You just tape those by themselves and you're good. That's a nice little 3.5-hour show. Solid. Then you can switch over, and on Saturdays, you can go to Arlington, Texas, or whatever like smaller arena that you have. Get your Collision people there, do a live Collision there, and then afterwards, hit up Ring of Honor. And then do or maybe even the next day, like do Ring of Honor tapings. Like something.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ring of Honor right now is, as much as I enjoy Ring of Honor, I know we don't really talk about it a lot on the show. Actually, we did. We said that people should watch it. It can be hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
Because them crowds do not give a shit about what's going on in Ring of Honor most of the time.
Well, probably because they've been there for like 5 hours already.
And let me tell you, as someone who's been to, now I can say I've been to 2 Ring of Honor tapings. Let's go. That crowd is thin.
Yeah.
Like, so many people leave after, like, for Dynamite, for example, when they did it after Rampage on that Wednesday before Double or Nothing last year,
Yeah.
like, half the crowd had left before they started doing Ring of Honor stuff.
Oh, shit.
But it was also, like, wrestling had been on since, like, 4 o'clock.
Oh my God. Yeah. They need to start splitting it up and, get somebody else that can own those tapings and own that show.
And plus, like, we've already talked about the boy. Scott D'Amore is also a genius booker. He brought back TNA to a point where they can call themselves TNA again. Like, he did so good with them after the stink of what happened in the late 2000s
Yep.
that if you want someone who's really good at what they do, Scott D'Amore, he's right there.
Yeah. And you ain't got to take our word for it. Also, Will Ospreay's been shouting them out too. So just saying.
I mean, there was a whole thing when D'Amore got fired from like the TNA wrestlers also. Like a lot of them were
Yeah.
pissed off about it too.
Yep. So yeah, I hope it happens. I hope he pops up and, takes Ring of Honor and just like takes that shit to a different level.
God, hope that happens soon.
Oh, they put like this big ass non-complete on him.
He's probably out for like another year, probably.
Probably another like 4 or 5 months.
So that means when AEW does their show with New Japan and CMLL in Japan, Wrestle Dynasty, Scott D'Amore's gonna show up. I got you. Okay.
Maybe a little after that. Maybe at the beginning of the year.
All right. I think we're good to move on.
All right.
Can I take a second to get negative real quick before we move on, or I
Yep.
not move on before we go to the rest of the show?
Yeah, go for it.
So on the docket, I put this here, which is the FTR segment where they came out and they were talking about that they are ready to be AEW World Tag Team Champions again, right?
Uh-huh.
I didn't talk to you about this, but this is the thing I was talking about that I was not happy with when it came to AEW this week.
Okay.
FTR is not the only other tag team that they have.
No.
Can we please put someone else in the spot for Wembley against the Bucks if the Bucks are going to be there, which they are most likely.
Yeah. Well, it's a big if they make it there.
Well, the Acclaimed ain't beating the Bucks.
Well, no. I mean, it's a big if FTR makes it there.
They did this promo. They're gonna show up.
Yeah.
They're gonna do. They don't really do rankings like that anymore, but they're gonna go up the rankings and they're gonna be able to challenge the Bucks, and we're gonna get them again at Wembley, and people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, the two best tag teams in the world," and I'm gonna say, I'm sick and fucking tired of FTR and the Bucks. Give it a break.
You never know. Somebody can stand in their way.
That's what I'm hoping, because what I'm going to assume is that I bet you the match at Wembley was going to be the Bucks and the Machine Guns, Motor City Machine Guns.
Yep.
And since that's out of the picture now, they scrambled to try to find someone, and it had to be FTR.
Yeah, because they decided to go WWE bound.
Mm-hmm. But all I'm saying is, before we move on, all I'm saying is AEW has a lot of other tag teams. Like Private Party could have been really cool in the spot. Top Flight could have been really cool in the spot. Lucha Brothers could have been really good in the spot. They haven't run that match in a while. Anyone. Yeah. Anyone but the FTR. And hopefully I'm wrong and it doesn't happen, but whatever.
Start building up the Gates of Agony.
Yeah, anyone. Anyone else. That's all I'd say about that. We can move on.
Yeah.
We actually only have a couple things left. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Aramis, or known now as Hologram.
Oh yeah, the one thing that we were both wrong on.
I'm glad we were both wrong.
Oh my God. Oh yes.
I'm so glad we were wrong.
Hologram is like Did you watch TNA when Suicide was a thing? Suicide
Yeah,
being the wrestler, not actual,
yeah, but Frankie Kazarian
Yeah.
in America. That's literally that's suicide.
Hologram feels like a video game character like that. Like, he was awesome.
Oh yeah, he's that character that you're like, all right, I want to make a luchador character. I'm going to put all these moves on him that should be finishers and put it on this character.
It was so amazing.
Yeah, Aramis is apparently he is like really, 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 really good.
You know what was funny? When I was watching the match, when he walked down, I was like, oh my god, this Sammy walking. What? Okay, whatever. And then when he got into the ring and did the flip in the ring that we just saw, I was like, oh shit, that's not Sammy.
Thank God it's not.
And then the match
Yeah,
happened,
yeah, Gringo Loco.
which was a very good opponent for Hologram.
Yeah, he's a good guy to like showcase what hologram can do.
This match was so good. I want to see Hologram every week now. He needs to be wrestling every week.
He's probably going to be on every week on Collision
I'm gonna say
because
something.
I'm seeing like now they're doing the whole. There's certain people showing up on Collision a lot more and just like being on Collision. They're like mainstays on there.
Yeah, they're kind of doing like the little like mini kind of like brand split kind of thing, a little bit. Not it's not like a hard brand split, but it's like
Yeah,
it's nice.
it's not a hard brand split, but it's more like a hey, I want to get some more time to like work on my stuff, and I can work on it over here on this show,
Hmm.
which is good.
You can be on live TV doing your thing whenever Collision is live.
Yeah,
It's great.
great for everybody. Like shit, we didn't talk about the match before this, but we'll talk about it a little bit after this. But
Hmm.
yeah, man, hologram, he is totally a video game character.
Like I can't state it enough that he was awesome.
Yeah, yeah, he's a great addition for the roster. I wonder which title he's going for. Maybe later on. So like, is he going to be doing international? Charging challenging mainly for that, or challenging for what what was Orange Cassidy's last title?
International.
That was the international. Oh yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. I got that one in Continental like fucking mixed up in my head just now for no reason at all.
Well, it doesn't have to. The Continental is like barely defended.
Yeah,
Like Okada has held it now for a few months and has defended it like twice.
I think like 3 times.
It has it been 3 times?
Yeah,
Oh God, you might be right.
it was on an episode of Collision, and he squashed a guy. Like,
Oh, okay. That's another side that actually needs kind of like to figure out what it is, other than
yeah,
the tournament title.
or the elite plot device.
Yeah. You know what they could do? They could get rid of the Continental and then make like a flippy shit title and then give it to Hologram.
You know that you could just give him a work title, right? Like the work, which is the international title.
Hmm.
He could eventually win that one. That's like I could do 1,000 matches in a year type title.
Yeah, that's true. At least until they whatever they do with MJF is done.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't mind like I don't need him to be champion right away, but it would be cool to see him like do some like something with the title. And I know, match one, he did a few flippy things for 6 minutes and we are impressed. Whatever. He was cool.
oh yeah, no, he was cool as shit, and I can already see. Oh, okay, seeing this one match, you see all the potential of what the other matches that could be done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him versus Ricochet, him versus Osprey, him versus Pac, him versus Ray Phoenix, him versus God damn, I almost called him La Parka. Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my god. It has
Um,
been that kind of day. I get it though.
yeah, like just everybody, all the people he'd be good against, and really show his shit.
I'm not gonna hold you. I kind of want to see him wrestle against some like crazy people too. I wanted to see him against like a powerhouse Hobbs against
Oh
Lance
yeah, yeah,
Archer. Like those would be good
oh,
too.
Lance Archer. Lance Archer's just gonna kill him.
Yes, it would be fantastic.
You know what? That's speaking of Lance Archer, that is like I think I mentioned him like week one maybe or week two, but damn it, like need more Lance Archer.
We did get that segment on Collision, so hopefully
Yeah,
that
yeah,
means something. He'll be on Collision more often.
yeah. Like make him a mainstay on Collision. Like have him on TV every week. That dude's that dude's awesome.
He is too talented to not be on TV consistently.
Yeah, like way too talented.
Like I know he's on Ring of Honor, sure, whatever. Um, he's one of those people that needs to actually be on TV. Like he's up on that list with like Athena as people who should be on like AEW TV.
Yeah,
No,
he needs to be
no slight to Ring of Honor or anything like that, but still,
until the Ring of Honor gets back on TV.
exactly.
Yeah. But like, yeah, he needs to be on TV. He's not. That guy is too talented.
All right. I think we can move to. This doesn't feel like it should be our final segment of the day, but it might
Oh,
be.
it might be.
Um, the one thing we want to talk about when it comes to this is well, first off, Sky Blue. Hopefully you get better soon. Hopefully the injury wasn't too bad. We get to see you back on TV soon.
Yeah, for sure. Like Kyle will heal her up.
That motherfucker.
Okay, Kyle.
But so after the match, Sheeta came out. She was very happy to win by referee stoppage. I think Sheeta's turning heel, which is actually going to be interesting to see. Backstage, she did a promo calling out Dr. Britt Baker. So at Blood and Guts on Dynamite on Wednesday,
Yep.
Hikaru Shida and Dr. Britt Baker DMD are going to be wrestling. That's going to be Britt's first match back.
Yeah, I think that's a good first match to get Britt back in. But besides all that, when she cut that promo, I was like, holy shit. Her English got way better, like
Mm-hmm.
leagues better. Like it was awesome to see. Like, and you know, she's one of the few like Japanese wrestlers that have come over that have actually like gave a that actually how do I say this? It's not attempted. That she actually went through and learned English so she could cut promos for the crowd, right? Like Io Sky hasn't, Asuka hasn't. Um, most like compared to like most of the you know Japanese wrestlers that have come over here, most of them just decide not to learn English.
Which you think in WWE that would be like a mandatory thing, right? Because the two examples that you gave is Io and Asuka, right? Even
Mm-hmm.
you can even say Kyrie too. They were all in NXT. And at NXT at that time, that was Black and Gold NXT. They were doing like, it was like a kind of like a college-ish where they were actually had classes and they were learning stuff also while doing NXT stuff. So it is kind of weird that they just never Well, I don't know. They might know English. They just don't ever do it on TV, which is a little weird for America. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone should. Though
Well,
it sounds crazy, but whatever.
the big difference is like even when Sheeta like first came over, she wasn't afraid to try to speak it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
She actually made attempts, right? And then like, from then till now she's gotten like way better at it and she can actually she can do it like great, you know. It's just one of those things that you just notice like and hate to like call out other people like Andrade, but um you know his English is the main reason he couldn't get, he didn't get as far as he could have on either product,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Because they needed him to talk and he couldn't.
And on AEW side, they never really had anyone to like really talk for him. He had Jose, but Jose the assistant was more ripped than half the wrestlers, so it didn't really make sense that he was the one being like the translator or like lackey guy. But it's neither here nor there.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it was actually really nice to like hear she did. And she didn't even like stutter or anything. That promo she did was really good.
yep, yeah. It was great. And that's one of the things I was happy to see that she just went full on with it. Didn't just like because a lot of times, a lot of people come over and they're like, well, I'll just wrestle and just never talk or just have a mouthpiece instead. Which that's cool. Like a lot of times you can get away with just having a mouthpiece, but you're only as good as your mouthpiece, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, like if you don't have like a Paul Heyman talking for you all the time, it's gonna get dicey.
Yeah, trust me, ain't really a lot of Paul Heymans just running around that
No,
are great managers.
no, not at all.
Shout out Paul Heyman.
Yeah, shout out to Paul Heyman.
But yeah, he like it was actually really interesting to like hear Sheeta speak. She was so confident with it too, and I think this is actually going to really help with like her heel turn that might be coming up
Hmm.
because now she doesn't have to worry about like trying to get someone to speak for her. She could, but now she could just be an asshole by herself, which is going to be fun to see.
Yeah, and she's gonna be hitting people with a kendo stick, which is even better.
Hell yeah.
We're getting we're getting delinquent Hikaru Shida.
I'm actually really excited for that. And I think her losing the Brit is going to be what like snaps her, because we've had a couple of people snapping AEW over the last few weeks, so she is going to be the next one on the list. And it's going to be great.
Yeah, like let's see. Right now we got not just like the some of the people that snapped Thunder Rosa.
Oh,
She had a whole segment after on Collision.
bro, how did we not add that to the list?
I just remembered it right now. And then we had the return of Taya Valkyrie.
Oh yeah, she was one of the lumberjacks or lumberjacks. I don't know what the proper term is for that kind of match when it's a women's match, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, she, helped Deanna Perrazzo, but yeah, there was that match too. And not much I can say about it other than like, yeah, Taya Valkyrie's back on AEW TV.
Mm-hmm. You know what? We can say one thing about the match. It's time for Deanna and Thunder to do their own things now. Like these have been great matches. I can't believe we actually spaced on that. I spaced on it too. I can't believe that happened. But the match was good. But it's time for them to split up. Taya and Deanna can go do their thing. They can go be the pretty girls, whatever they want to do. And then Thunder can go do her thing, and we can circle back a little bit later.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think they need them in particular. They either need to be shooting for gold. They all need to be shooting for gold.
I will say though, this was really good to get Deanna acclimated into AEW,
Hmm.
and this was good for Thunder to be back because Thunder's been back for a while also, but she wasn't really doing a lot. So is this storyline has been long. It's probably good that it's hopefully over now, but this was really good for both of them because they were both kind of just like out in the world for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Because Thunder came back after her injury, her back injury. So she needed to get back in,
Mm-hmm.
and Deanna was just got out of that one feud and just wasn't on TV. She
It,
would just show up every here and there and just not do anything. But this got them all, both back in the ring consistently week after week.
mm-hmm. Man, how did we not have that on the list?
I fucking spaced it, man.
There, there was we had a lot of talk about this episode. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask while we're on the air. Anything else you want to talk about before we end the episode?
Well, we're on the air. Hmm.
Because there's the DDT show that happened last night that I didn't get to watch yet, but I heard some good things about it. Takeshi's match was really good. I heard the DDT open weight title match was really good.
Hmm.
I heard the show just in general was great. It's I think it's called like Wrestling Peter Pan is what the show is on DDT.
Peter Pan, what the hell?
Oh, that's right. You don't watch DDT often, right?
No, no.
Man, I think you would hate DDT.
But I know what's the name came from DDT. Takeshita did.
Yeah. El Desperado had a really good match on that show too. He wrestled this guy named Chris Brooks, and it was like a Despe like loves his death matches. They were doing like a death match type thing. Desperado had his mask ripped off, and he looked badass with like the blood dripping down his face. I heard that match was really good
Hmm.
too.
Oh, nice. Oh, I think the last thing we probably say is the Von Erichs um pretty much have joined AEW. They got signed to AEW.
Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
They because they showed up on Collision
With Dustin.
with Dustin, and yeah, so it pretty much looks like they're out of MLW and they're in AEW now.
You know what? Good for them.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Actually, this is actually gonna be really good for the Von Erichs because their Collision's gonna be in Texas for like the next 6 weeks.
Yeah,
So it's in their backyard. They can just go. They can do their matches there.
yeah, I think that's where they're going to show up for the most part is the Collision.
That's interesting. I'll be watching them wrestle again. I haven't seen them on AEW TV in a while, so it'd be nice to see them the youngins wrestle again.
Yeah, there's other like interesting signings that they did, which were cool, like Rachel Ellering.
Oh, she got signed. She was in the
It was a
Deanna and Thunder Lumberjack match, so that's cool.
yeah, she pretty much officially got signed because she used to be in that tag team with Jordan Grace. Well, I think like 2 years ago they were the Knockouts tag champs,
Mm-hmm.
and then she like disappeared, and then just started showing up on Ring of Honor again.
Probably doing
Oh,
her indie thing.
yeah, doing the indie thing, and then now she was on Ring of Honor, and she was a lumberjack last week. Well, actually, she did a match on Collision, I think, last week too.
Who did she wrestle? I think you're right. Who did she wrestle? It was like a quick
Oh,
one.
yeah, it was a quick match. I can't remember.
I'll find it. I'll put it up here. Like it'll be on the podcast.
Yeah, but yeah. So she's getting in there. Glad to see that. I think she's pretty good. And there's some free agents that like people. there's little rumors that they might be joining the women's division also, like Megan Bain.
Oh, Stardom's own.
Yeah, sounded like she might be making that jump to AEW.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I I saw her live when I was in Japan this year because I went to the Stardom show that Iwatani Mayu and Shuri main evented. Like I was
Yeah,
there. It was she's huge.
yeah. She's like, I've seen some of her matches where she's wrestling guys and like tossing them around, like she's like ragdolling dudes. I think that would be a good person for to fill out the women's division in AEW.
You know, if we get Mega Man, you know what she would be really good at? She would be really good in like a Stardom I hate when people do this that I'm about to do right now anyway. Like a Stardom faction with her, Mariah May, and like maybe someone else from Stardom or someone else that's
Mhm.
wrestled over there. Like having them together, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or she could. I think she could. She'd be great on her own.
Oh, she would for sure. But AEW is definitely like it's starting to become like how New Japan is, where you
Mhm.
kind of need some people around you to stay afloat. So like
Or just
even
to
it could
get
be like
started.
yeah, it could be even like loose. Like you know how like the conglomeration's like kind of loose. Like they're together, but they're not really a faction. It could be like that.
Yeah, just don't hit that best friend's vortex though.
Oh no, we should be fine. I think that died with when Orange Cassidy hit that wrench on Trent. We haven't seen Trent since.
Trent's gone, dude.
Ain't no best friends no more.
Cassidy's new best friend is the monkey wrench.
You know what? Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about also. We could talk about this too. The conglomeration did have a match on. I think it was what? It was on Collision, right? That like Orange Cassidy wrestled this week.
Wait,
Yeah,
I thought it was last week.
was that last week?
Yeah, where he hit Trent with the monkey wrench.
No, he wrestled. He wrestled after. He was in the match.
Oh,
Uh,
I don't remember.
it was on Collision. Here, hold on. Let me get. I got you. I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I get it. The other one I remember is Mortos and Darby Allen.
Killing each other.
Yeah, that mask that Mortos has is ridiculous. I don't know how he keeps that thing on.
I look. I'm so happy he's out of. I'm so happy he's out of TNA. Like he was a. I'm not saying he's like a great wrestler. I'm not here to dunk on TNA. I'm not trying to do that actually. Funny enough, but he wasn't really doing a lot when he was in TNA. Like he's one of those people that I am happy that kind of dipped out. He could have went anywhere and I would have been happy. So he can wrestle more. He's still not wrestling as much on AEW either, but you know, neither here nor there. Here we go. For the Orange Cassidy match, it was on Rampage. We didn't talk about Rampage at all. They had
Oh, okay.
it was the conglomeration versus the Undisputed Kingdom. That's what it
Hmm.
was.
Yeah, I didn't watch Rampage.
You didn't miss anything this week, honestly. The one interesting thing that was on there was Soraya promo, which sounds
Mhm.
crazy coming from me, but Soraya basically was like the company doesn't want to see me at Wembley, and I should be on TV more, and blah 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 blah, that kind of thing.
Huh.
Yeah, nothing really came from it, but it was it was a thing that happened.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I was like, all right.
So how's that saying on TV when you got TV time gonna help you?
Wrestlers do that all over, like everywhere. Like
Yeah.
people have done WWE, people have done in AEW, people have done
Oh
in
yeah, yeah.
TNA, and it is like the dumbest thing because you're complaining about TV time while you're on TV.
You're complaining about TV time, but you just got a 10-minute TV spot.
Yeah, like okay,
Alrighty.
congratulations, like great. But yeah, man, I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. We still did talk about a lot today. I'm surprised actually we forgot about a couple things. You know what it is. We usually those things that we just talked about at the end, the quick things we normally would like forget about or not forget about. We normally wouldn't do because at this point we'd be trying to like squeeze in gaming.
Yeah, yeah,
That's just done. We don't have to worry about that anymore.
yeah. Well, next week won't be like that. I'm gonna have my notes this time. Well, next time, and yeah, we ain't skipping nothing.
Oh, we're going through the whole shows.
Oh no, yeah, nothing. We ain't missing nothing.
That means you gotta watch Rampage this week.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, it should be easier because we're gonna be recording earlier next week anyway because I'm gonna be gone next week.
Right, right.
So we only have to do Dynamite and Rampage, which Dynamite is gonna be blood and guts, so that's probably gonna be 2 hours by itself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, y'all, that's it. If you made this far, thank you again for watching. This is our first episode of Off the Top Rope. And I hope that you guys come back to see more.
Yeah. Thanks guys for listening, and as usual, I'm gonna ask you to do that nice thing of like, comment, subscribe, and thank you very much, and holla back at us
Peace out, y'all.
later.